Hi everyone, this is coming to you from Education for All. We are looking at the last question here, cut off B, A minus B. But before we proceed, I advise you to get a copy of this book, Mathematics from Hate to Tolerate. This is a beginner's guide. You know, the whole of maths, I can say after arithmetic, that is the relationship between numbers, just numbers, number to number. That is what arithmetic is, using minus, plus, multiplication, division signs. That relationship of numbers is arithmetic. The next topic you learn is algebra. Right from primary school, you start learning algebra. So once you miss algebra, because most people it's algebra that is the problem. If you don't grasp these fundamental ideas of algebra in your primary school, it then becomes a problem for you when you go to your secondary school. This book addresses that problem. This book here addresses that problem. If you ever think you cannot do maths, as long as you understand your arithmetic, you are able to multiply, you are able to add, you are able to subtract, you can progress to other difficult topics in mathematics with the help of this book, which is available on Amazon for $9.99. Now let's move on to this problem. The problem here says, given that sine of A is equals to this, where A is acute, and B is this, where B is obtuse, calculate the exact value of sine of this, cos of this, and then we are looking at cot. Cot of A minus B. Cot of A, cotangent of A minus B. But before we go on to find the cot of A minus B, let's see what answer we got for sine of A minus B, because we need that. Sine of A minus B, the final answer was minus 77 all over 85. Minus 77 all over 85. And cos of A minus B, cos of A minus 36 all over 85. Minus 36 all over 85. So now we need cot of A minus B. Cotangent of A minus B. You know, you cannot get this directly from the from angle addition formula. You cannot get the cotangent, but you can get the tangent. You can get the tangent. The tangent of A minus B. This is the same as the reciprocal of the cotangent A minus B. So in other words, the cotangent of A minus B is the same as the tangent, 1 over the tangent of A minus B. One is reciprocal of the other, right? So this is one way to approach this problem. This is one way. And you know what the tangent is? Tan A minus B, this is tan of A plus, tan A minus B. Sorry. Tan of A minus B, tan A minus tan B all over 1 plus tan A tan of B. This is another way of approaching this problem. But what we have here, this is not advisable. Why? Because you know that the tangent of an angle, tan of theta, is equals to the sine of theta all over the cosine of theta. You know this relationship. Tangent is sine over cos. Therefore, cot of theta is equal to the cosine of theta. Let me make it people to understand. 1 all over the tan of theta, which is the cosine of theta all over the sine of theta. I hope you understand this relationship. Reciprocal of the other. So which means this will swap, flip over. Why I'm doing this? Because we have sine and cosine here. We've known those values. We can just use them directly. That's what we're trying to do. So we now know that the cotangent of A minus B is equals to the cosine of A minus B all over the sine of A minus B. So we've come back here. We are not even going there. We are doing it here. So therefore, the cot of A minus B, cotangent of A minus B, which is now, you flip them over, the cosine of A minus B all over the sine of A minus B. And this gives you what is cos A minus B. Cos A minus B is minus 36 all over 85 divided by what is sine A minus B. Sine A minus B is minus 77 all over 85. So the 85s will cancel, the minuses will cancel. So the final answer is 36 all over 77. That's the end of this topic. Trigonometry ends today. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.